If you're one of the many people who suffers from foot pain when walking, in today's video I'm going to show you how to relieve it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham, and today I'm going to be giving you 7 tips to help you fix foot pain that affects your walking. Now, foot pain can be caused by a whole host of problems. It can be caused by plantar fasciitis, it can be caused by mechanical problems with the foot, it can be caused by arthritis or hallux rigidus, which is where the big toe becomes very stiff. It can also be caused by tendon problems or collapsed arches. There's a whole number of problems that can cause foot pain when walking, and in today's video I'm going to show you 7 tips that will hopefully relieve the symptoms of foot pain no matter what the cause is. Now, before I show you the 7 tips, it's important to note that this advice is general in nature. It's not designed to fix any specific condition. It should not replace advice that you've got from your doctor, and the exercises are definitely not suitable for everyone, so get checked out first and avoid them if they're painful. That being said, let's have a look at my tips for helping foot pain now. One of the major things that all of these foot problems that we discussed have in common is that the person suffering from them has tightness in the muscles in the sole of the foot. Now, if you have tight foot muscles, that can compress the small joints in the foot and make foot pain and things like plantar fasciitis more likely. Now, you could go to see a physiotherapist or a massage therapist and get your feet massaged as one solution, but you can find a solution at home. So I'm going to give you 2 techniques that really work for foot pain, and this can work for a number of different conditions. And the first way we're going to treat tightness in the foot is with a massage gun, namely the X6 Pro from Bob and Brad, which is what I'm going to show you today. So this is the X6 Pro massage gun. It's a fantastic product that I was sent by the Bob and Brad team to review and show you how it works. Now, this is a pro version of the massage guns that you might have seen me talk about before, which means it's actually designed for professionals such as myself. It's got more power, more battery life, and more versatility than some of the other massage guns, but this one is not necessarily superior for this kind of thing at home, but I want to show you how it works. The thing I love about the X6 Pro for this job is it's got a metal head. It's the only Bob and Brad gun with a metal head. It does have other heads that you can put on, but for the purpose of treating the feet, this one is going to be superior. So basically what we're going to do is we're trying to loosen up the range of muscles that live in the sole of the foot, usually around the arch. We don't particularly want to treat the bones, we want to treat the soft bits of the foot. So I'm going to show you how that would work with the X6 Pro. So you can turn the machine on easily just by pressing the button at the back. And because the feet can be quite sensitive, we only want to use one of the lighter treatment options. And then basically all we're going to do is get that treatment head and focus it around the inner arch of the foot. So this that we're treating now, obviously we've got the intrinsic foot muscles there that we're trying to loosen up, but we're also loosening up the plantar fascia. And if you have tightness in your plantar fascia, that's going to constrict everything else in the foot. It's going to make plantar fasciitis more likely, it's going to make Achilles tendon problems more likely, and it's going to make general foot pain more likely as well. Now, you can probably hear this thing at work now. I'm hardly putting any pressure on it. I can almost lift all my fingers off the gun. It doesn't weigh that much. It's about a 500-gram product, so really easy to hold, even if you don't have the strongest of hands. And the power I'm getting from the X6 Pro here is brilliant. It's just that lovely kind of very mild discomfort that feels like it's relieving something. That's the best way I can describe it. Now, if you were to treat the bottom of your foot, the soles of your feet, with this massage gun for about 2 or 3 minutes and then you stop, your feet are going to feel amazing. They're going to feel like you're walking on a cloud. And this is actually something I do for myself. I use massage guns on the sole of my feet because we do quite a lot of walking. And I find that any pain I have in my feet or any discomfort I have in my ankle, I have a bad ankle for many years since twists, that tends to go away after treating it. Now, you do have to use these regularly if you're going to do it, so I would commit to using it for a couple of minutes a day, as long as it's safe for you to do so. And even though the X6 Pro is a brilliant option, the other bob and brad massage guns are also absolutely fine for the purposes of this. So I've left a link in the descriptions box below for how you can get the X6 Pro. It will give you some discount off, 10% off if you choose to get it. So scroll down and have a look if you want to join me in using this at home. Now the next thing we're going to do to relieve foot pain when walking is a toe extensor stretch. And this is a really nice stretch, both for the muscles that control the toes and for the muscles that control the ankle. So the areas we're going to be stretching are the bits at the front of the shin and the tendons that go down into the foot. And this is a lovely exercise for walkers because these muscles can get tight. So to make this stretch work, the easiest thing to do is to cross one leg over the other like a figure 4. And all we're going to do is we're going to point our toes downwards, trying to make a straight line here. Okay, and then we're going to take our hand of the opposite side and place it over the ends of the toes. Now you're going to try and curl your toes down as if you're doing this with your toes. And already I can feel a nice stretch coming up the top of my foot. And if I pull down a bit further and get the ankle involved as well, that stretch starts to radiate up the front of the shin as well. So the muscles we're stretching here are the tibialis anterior, which is this muscle here. You can feel its tendon going all the way down into the foot. And you're stretching your toe extensors. You've got 5 tendons that go up the top of the foot, and their job is basically to lift your toes up as you walk. So if they get tight, obviously we're not going to have the same downward movement of the toes because they're restricting the toes by pulling them up. Now with this stretch, I'd recommend you hold for 30 seconds and try and come back to it at least 2 or 3 times per day if you're having foot pain. And it can really help to relieve any pain that people get on the tops of their feet, and also help to take some of the pressure off the small joints in the foot. The next thing we're going to do to treat foot pain is mobilization of the toes. Now it's much easier if I show you this up close, so let's have a look at how we mobilize those toes. So to mobilize the toes, we want you in a position where you can easily reach your feet with at least one hand. And when we say mobilize the toes, what we're trying to do is take all of our toes through a full range of motion. Now your toes have got a couple of different directions of movement. One direction of movement is flexion, another is extension, which is coming up, another is abduction, which is coming out to the side, and then the other one is adduction, which is coming across. Now for the purposes of this exercise, flexion and extension are our most important toe movements, because if those get stiff, it's going to aggravate stiffness and tightness in the foot. So what I'd recommend you do, using my big toe as an example, is you get 2 fingers of one hand, one goes over the top of the nail, one comes underneath the toe, just by where the foot meets the toe, and you're just going to gently pull down like this in a repetitive way, just into the realms of comfort and stiffness. So you're just going to go to the point where you feel that first bit of stiffness. And you're just going to repeat the movements. You can see it's quite a small movement. It shouldn't be painful, but what we're getting is movement of this joint, and we're also getting movement of this joint here as well. Both of these are very, very important for proper foot health. So once you've done a set of 30 of these in a row, then you can turn to extension. So then the movement just flips. So the thumb goes on top of the joint, the finger comes underneath the end of the toe, and now we reverse it. So we go up into extension. Now remember, this should be really, really gentle. Only do this if it feels comfortable. We're not pushing into pain. We're not trying to force it, but we're just trying to take it to the ends of its comfortable range. So we're going to go up and relax, up and relax, up and relax. And once you've done 30 in each direction on your big toe, you can move on to your second toe. So come over the top and down. You can see that it's impossible to do just the one toe without moving the other toes as well. That's absolutely fine. We get a hidden benefit there. And then once you've done your 30 in that direction, then you're going to do your 30 into extension. And doing this once or twice per day on all of your toes on both feet is really going to loosen up the movement of your toes, and you might feel an instant benefit to your walking in the shape of less foot pain and stiffness. The next thing we're going to do to help with your foot pain is a trigger point ball release. And this is an alternative to the Bob and Brad massage gun. These are obviously a bit cheaper. They're not quite as good as the massage gun products, but it allows you to get into those tight areas of the foot at relative ease from a sitting position. So this might be more suitable for you if you can't get your foot up here, because you can use this on the floor. So you're going to get one of these, which is a trigger point massage ball. It's like a tennis ball size, but very tough. It's rubbery, okay? So it's a solid ball. You're going to put it on the floor where you can reach it with your foot. Now, all we want to do using the massage ball is just roll it around the bare foot in that inner arch. So the area we're trying to focus on is the arch here. So just the fleshy part of the foot. Now, it's particularly important if you have plantar fasciitis not to try and treat the heel, because you will make the problem worse. We're just looking at the fleshy part of the foot. So we're not treating the bones, just the bit that's muscular and fleshy on the inside. And you're just going to roll the ball around. Again, it's like a pleasant pain, if that makes sense, because we're loosening up tight tissues. And I would recommend spending 30 seconds doing that and then rolling over to the other side and having a go. Some people report instant relief after they've done this. They can get up, they can walk around, sometimes with even less knee pain or hip pain or back pain. So this is a great way to loosen up the tight, soft tissues in the foot. It only takes a couple of minutes per day, but it's well worth the effort. So we fixed tightness in the foot, but what about weakness? Because weakness in the foot muscles is another big cause of foot pain. So this exercise is great at fixing weakness in your intrinsic foot muscles. Now, all we need for this exercise is a towel that you can put on the floor. We call this exercise towel scrunches. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay a towel out in front of you on the floor. You're going to sit probably on the edge of your chair, and your feet are going to be positioned so that your heels are on the carpet, but your toes are on the towel. The exercise is simple. We're just going to keep the heels on the carpet and use our toes to pull the towel in towards us. So we're scrunching the towel close without lifting the heels. Now you can see that I can use my toes almost like a pulley to pull those fibers of the towel in. Now you might not be able to do this when you start, because it does require some level of strength in your foot muscles, but it really doesn't matter how much you grab the towel. What matters is that your feet are making that cave shape when you tense your toes and pull the towel towards you. Now, it doesn't matter if the towel's not moving, all that matters is you're using your muscles. Now, after you've been doing this for 30 seconds, you'll probably start to feel you get a working ache at the bottom of your foot. That's a good thing. It means you're working the correct muscle. So I would do 30 seconds worth of work on this and try and do that a few times a day if you can, for stronger muscles in your feet. The next tip I've got for you for less foot pain when walking is to stretch your calves. Now, your calves are the muscles at the back of your shin, and when they become tight, they compress the muscles and the joints and the ligaments inside the foot and make foot pain more likely. Because the calf attaches to the heel, it pulls up on the heel, so if we're having to walk with a tight calf, there's increased tension all around the inside of the foot, and it's a leading cause of plantar fasciitis. So to stretch the calves is very simple. This is one of my favorite exercises, and basically all you need to make this exercise work is something to put your hands on. We're going to stretch my right leg as an example. You're going to put your right leg back with your heel on the floor and your back knee straight. Feet are pointing in the same direction, and then we bend the front knee, the left knee here, keeping that heel on the floor, keeping the knee straight, and we can feel a stretch down the back of the calf. Now, once you've got that stretch, all you need to do is hold it for 30 seconds. Then you can swap sides, putting that one back, this one forward. Again, keep the back knee straight and the heel on the floor, bend the front knee until we get a stretch in the calf. Now, for this exercise to work, doing it once is not really enough. You can do it once in the morning, once at lunchtime, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening. That would be so much better than just doing it once. And that would also be better than doing one lot of 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So space it throughout the day for best results with calf stretches, and it will lead to less foot pain as a result. Then the final tip I've got for you for less foot pain when walking is to correct your heel to toe pattern. Now this is talking about a walking pattern that we should all have when we walk. So when we walk as a normal gait, what should happen is our heel hits the ground first, not the back of the heel, but the bottom of the heel. And then we should roll forward onto our midfoot. And then as we come through, we should push off through the toes. So we call this a heel to toe pattern. Now there are two problems that people with foot pain have. Number one is they can sometimes strike too far at the back of the heel. So if they're striking right at the back of the heel, they're going to end up with soreness and impact going up the leg. So that is something we want to avoid. The area we want to land on is this bit here. So it's the fleshy bottom part of the heel. We're not trying to hit the back of the heel with the ground. The other thing that people have, which is a problem, is they miss the heel entirely. So either land flat like that, so walk with a flat foot, or some people even miss the heel and land with the forefoot. And that can sometimes be quite a hidden gait pattern. Sometimes it can be as a result of having a leg length difference. So obviously get checked out if you feel that's the case for you. But for many people, if it's just bad habits, you can simply correct it by using the mantra heel to toe, heel to toe. Say that in your head as you walk, and it's almost like magic. It corrects some of the foot problems we see. So we want to walk like this, so the middle of the heel hits the ground, and then we push off through the toes. I'm going to show you again. So we come down, middle of the heel hits the ground first, watching this foot, and then push off through the toes. Now, if we're not getting a heel to toe pattern, everything else in the chain of events that should happen, so at your ankle, your knee and your hip, all of it falls apart. So it all starts off with this heel to toe pattern. And it's amazing how much pain this can reduce just by doing the correct walking pattern. So focus on your heel to toe, and hopefully that will also take away a lot of your foot pain. So those are my 7 tips for fixing foot pain when walking. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please do leave a comment below and let me know how you got on. And if you want to get more from me, you can find much more information about feet and how to make them healthy in my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you on the next video.